from the crowd over at Dibu Martinez. Nearly 57 minutes in this first period, and a revenge of sorts of what happened at the quarterfinals of last year's Copa America, where Dibu was the hero once again for Argentina after they advanced here against Ener Valencia, the captain. Will it be another Dibu moment of magic? The whistle from Roldan. Here is Valencia. Goal for Ecuador. Ener Valencia shot it to the middle, dead center. Dibu went to his right, and Ecuador go in front very, very late in this first period, following the penalty committed by Tagliafico and Angelo Preciado. 1-0 for Ecuador after the Valencia goal from the penalty spot. Whistle from Roldan, and the first half is finally over as Ecuador go in front with right, everybody back for the start of the second half. And we are underway at the Monumental Banco Pichincha Stadium with a substitution in Ecuador. I believe it's J.JUNAYED who has come on here on this near side, replacing Angelo Preciado. Might have gotten hurt after that collision with Tagliafico. McAllister. Martinez backwards for Tagliafico, precisely as Foyt leaves it for Dibu Martinez. Valerdi. Montiel gifts it to the middle. Vite. Nilson Angulo. Cut by Montiel. Franco. This is Jeboa. A foul. Jeboa playing for Venezia. in Italy. No changes in Argentina. Of course, they have one substitution already made. Giuliano Simeone leaving his spot to Juan Foyt after the red card to Otamendi. One player booked in Argentina is Lautaro Martinez. 3 in Ecuador, but 2 remain. Caicedo and Plata. Whereas the other one was Angelo Preciado. Look at how long the field is left for Argentina, as there was Lautaro Martinez almost 60 or 70 meters away from the opposing goal. Vite, Hincapié, Plata, back to Piero Hincapié, the former Talleres man in the Argentine league. Moisés Caicedo, Ordóñez, Franco Ordóñez, the Olé chance to begin to come down from the stands. Through ball from Caicedo. Good intention for Vite. Was not able to get to it. The volley from Martinez. Header from Nico Gonzalez. All alone is Lautaro. The poor touch from De Paul. Caicedo advancing. Another heavy collision. Oh, and it's Caicedo, and he's out. And it's a red card to Moisés Caicedo, who says, I did not touch him. I didn't touch him. No lo toco. Te juro. He swears. He swears that he did not touch him. Wow, what a turn of events after the red card to Otamendi. Moisés Caicedo is sent off now in Ecuador. Nearly 5 minutes into this second period. We just mentioned he was the one who was booked beforehand. And he got there late against Nico Gonzalez. Scaloni knew instantly that Caicedo had a yellow. And the fourth official certainly heard him. And there's nothing that VAR can do here. It's a yellow card type situation. There can be no VAR review. As this is going to be 10 on 10 for the remainder of this game. Unless we get more ejections at this point, you never know. The level playing field now for Argentina, but they are down 1-0. Paredes. Difficult to fit it in to Alexis McAllister. Here's Lautaro. Paredes. Tagliafico. Paredes went down, but there was no foul. Very quickly he goes back up. And I would imagine in a couple of minutes, maybe to try to give Argentina some time to reset, but if a few minutes go by and the score remains the same, I would imagine some substitutions offensively for Argentina. A possibility perhaps for Gio Lo Celso, for Flaco Lopez, for Nico Paz or Franco Mattantuono wearing number 10 tonight. Reminder, Thiago Almada was scheduled to start the game and wear the number 10 shirt, which of course belongs to Messi. But he was sidelined with an injury. Another of the new Atletico Madrid acquisitions in this transfer window, Thiago Almada, former Vélez Sarsfield. Calister, De Paul, Alexis. Argentina will be more comfortable in possession now. De Paul, Nico Gonzalez, opening it. Tagliafico, who does a great job bouncing it off of the defender and keeping it in play in the possession of Argentina. Paredes played it short. Alexis for Rodrigo. Rodrigo, De Paul. Not a good cross from De Paul. Wow, and we have big news as Bolivia has scored a goal and they are in front 1-0. A penalty kick goal. And Colombia have tied it in the second period. Luis Suarez with a goal. Not the second period, the first period. Minute 42, and that game is tied 2-2. Already 4 goals in the Venezuela-Colombia game, and Bolivia with the penalty kick goal are currently overtaking the Vino Tinto. Riveting stuff, as here Nico Gonzalez goes one-on-one. Nico Gonzalez, and the cross bounces off of Alan Franco for a corner. The corner kick, Galíndez jumping up in the air, and a possible counter here beginning for Ecuador. Plata bounces it off for a throw-in. Paredes, McAllister, Lautaro. What a night in South American football. Round 18 of the CONMEBOL World Cup qualifiers, 1 year away from United States, Mexico, and Canada in 2026. Right now with these scores, Argentina first with 38, Ecuador second with 29, Uruguay third with 28, tied with Brazil fourth with 28, a +7 goal difference for the Verde Amarela, +10 for La Celeste. Colombia with 26 points, Paraguay also 26, and a +3 Goal difference for La Albirroja with a +7 for the Cafeteros. And Bolivia 7th with 20 points. Just 1 point ahead of Venezuela. It's just Lautaro Martinez turning around and taking it into the open arms of Hernan Galíndez. I was saying, Venezuela, the only CONMEBOL nation that has never played in a World Cup stage. And so far, their dreams would be shattered. Still more than a half to go in those games. Substitutions getting ready. In Ecuador, number 10, Kendry Páez. And number 18, Jordi Alcivar. Two starters just a few days ago in their draw away at Paraguay. Big cheer for Ener Valencia. This could be as well his last game at home. Let's take that into account. Valencia is 35, so he could still have some years after this 4-year window. But still, the recognition for one of the leaders, certainly. There it is, the recognition from the fans for Ener Valencia as he gets a well-deserved ovation. And the youngster Kendry Páez, just 18 years of age, playing for Racing of Strasbourg in France. Began his career, of course, with Independiente del Valle, like almost all the players of the Ecuadorian national team. Jordi Alcivar replacing Angulo. Alcivar playing in Independiente del Valle, 26 years old for Jordi Alcivar. So 3 changes now in Ecuador. Halftime across the other 4 games, with the results as we have said just moments ago. Franco Mastantuono getting ready in Argentina. Well, the two River Plate men, Julián Álvarez and Franco Mastantuono, one playing for Atlético Madrid, the other just 18 years old and already a starter for Real Madrid. Both of them began their careers at a youth level in River. Julián, of course, played in Manchester City before going over to the Colchoneros. And a good ball here for Nico González. Cross from Nico, inside for Alexis McAllister. Rebound for the ball. It'll be the last play for McAllister. The ball trying to fit it through. Recovery from Paredes. A 3 fingers pass straight into the hands. we can add one more Gallina man, one more River Plate man to all right, it's Mastantuono checking in for Paredes and Julián Álvarez checking in for Lautaro Martínez. Those two substitutions in Argentina. Poor Lautaro wasn't able to get many chances, playing all alone there. And a long-haired Álvarez. Different hairstyle for La Araña, the Spider, who is scheduled to be another. That's why we mentioned the possibility of another River Plate man, as Ezequiel Palacios, number 14, was called upon by Scaloni, but coach changed his mind. It's just the two substitutions for now. 3 in total for Argentina in 2 windows. So they have one more window to make 2 changes following the first half substitution and the inclusion of Foyt. McAllister. Mastantuono. Foyt. McAllister. Mastantuono. De Paul. Opens it again for Juan Foyt. Montiel was teammates with Mastantuono up until a couple of weeks ago at the Club World Cup, the FIFA Club World Cup. Played in the United States together. Álvarez. Look at the position of Tagliafico, almost as a winger. De Paul. Álvarez. Nice possession from Argentina. Passing it around. Balerdi. Foyt. Trying to break through the lines. Mastantuono. Mastantuono protected with his body. He keeps on going. Mastantuono loses it against Hincapié. Now they go on the pressure, and we know that Argentina does this very well, especially with Julián Álvarez. There is Álvarez. Álvarez. He had a window to pass it to Mastantuono, didn't do so. Kendry Páez sends it away, but very quickly for Foyt. Foyt. McAllister. Foyt. Going over is Álvarez. Here is Julián. Julián for Mastantuono. Mastantuono. Mastantuono tried to play it through ball for Nico González. Argentina putting the pressure on. In 64.5 minutes, Tagliafico went straight and crashed onto Alan Franco. Yellow card for the Olympique Lyon left back. McAllister, 66 minutes of game time. In Guayaquil, the goal scored by Ener Valencia from the penalty spot in the last minute of the first period. Nicolás González, 1-on-2. Good recovery from Jordi Alcivar, who just leaves it for the throw. González, Rodrigo de Paul. Foyt, coming over is Mastantuono. Montiel. Oh, dangerously turning around and finding Valerdi. De Paul going over is Montiel. That's the ball for Gonzalo. Here's Cachete with the header. Getting in the way was Kendry Paez, and Ordóñez just sends it to the corner. Corner kick for La Scaloneta. Here's the corner by Mastantuono, the header from Hincapié. On the other side is Rodrigo De Paul. Is there a substitution coming? I think it is, in Argentina. De Paul? No. Yes, De Paul. Giovanni Lo Celso and Nahuel Molina replacing De Paul and Montiel in Argentina. And Kevin Rodriguez replacing Gonzalo Plata in Ecuador. A moment of substitutions. No more substitutions in Argentina now. All 5 have been made. Foyt, Molina, Mastantuono, Alvarez, and Giovanni Lo Celso. The Betis man, the 29-year-old midfielder. Ecuador has one more sub to make if Guillermo Marino, the acting coach today, wants it. Here is Mastantuono. Strong pass denied. Intended for Lo Celso. Here is Giovanni. The lefty with the other lefty, Mastantuono. A ball for Nahuel Molina with the cross. Here's the chance for Lo Celso! Oh! And the deflection saved Ecuador. A little over 20 minutes left in this one. Low, short. The corner executed by Lo Celso. Getting in the way, William Pacho. Blocking what would have been a near certain goal. And the reaction from the egg, Huevo Acuña. Right behind Caloni. Long ball from Galíndez. The header from Tagliafico. Alvarez. Oof, dangerous move from Lo Celso. Could be a yellow, but I think Roldan is going to let it go by in this one. And also, Kevin Rodriguez stuck his head down low. Makes sense. Didn't even call a foul. The Colombian. Ordóñez, the pressure coming from Mastantuono. William Pacho eludes him, goes by him. Paez, Kendry Paez, also pressured by McAllister. Pass to the middle, Rodriguez turns around, goes, puts himself facing the goal. Paez, the young talented Kendry Paez with a beautiful ball, a little too strong. That was intended for J.JUNAYED. Oh, the recovery. This could be the second. Rodriguez. Dibu. And the rebound for Paez. Fabulous chance wasted by Ecuador here after recovering a ball on enemy territory. Not the best execution from Rodriguez, but one more save from Dibu Martinez, who was quickly becoming one of the big stars of the night, at least keeping Argentina in the game. Still trailing, but only one goal back. Molina. One more recovery from Ecuador. Rodriguez. No, I didn't see a foul there from Molina. Now I see a foul from Alexis McAllister, right in front, right next to Wilmar Roldan. Perfect from the ref. Not calling the previous foul. That wasn't a foul, but spotting this one. And it's a clean challenge for Molina. And then a bit too much from McAllister. Second half already underway in Maturin and in El Alto. 1-0 Bolivia over Brazil. 2-2 Venezuela, Colombia. One goal changes everything. A goal by Venezuela, a goal by Brazil puts the Vino Tinto in the playoff. Here, Ecuador wanting to get a win against the reigning defending world champions and the reigning defending two-time Copa America champions. Be a great way to boost their morale and to wrap up the CONMEBOL World Cup qualifiers with a stellar record, especially when it comes to goals conceded. Just 5 we mentioned in the entire tournament. Tagliafico trying to lob it for Nico Gonzalez, who puts his body, shields the ball with his body. Gonzalez tackled and fouled by Franco. Here's the cross to the inside. The header in the near post by Tagliafico. Play still alive with Foyt. Mastantuono. Good ball for Julian Alvarez. Easy for Alcibar, who clears it. And the coverage is perfect from Valerdi. Backwards for Dibu Martinez from Lo Celso. Oh, and more bad news for Venezuela. A goal for Colombia. 2-3 now, as all eyes will go to Bolivia. And the hope will be, at least for the Venezuela fans, the Venezuelans, plural, the hope will be for a goal by the Carleto Ancelotti-led Brazil, without some of their stars also tonight. They only need for Bolivia to not win, so a draw still puts Venezuela in the playoff, scheduled for early next year. Valerdi. Nicolás González. Tagliafico. Leo Valerdi. Foyt. Opens it one more time for Franco Mastantuono. The cross from Mastantuono. Tagliafico with a header. Maybe coming back from an offside position there. Nico González. Alvarez has to go all the way back to get this ball. Julian tried to switch it across and Baez just booms it away. Rodriguez running with everybody. Valerdi on the coverage. Hincapié. Oh, poor pass from Piero. But they recover it quickly. William Pacho punts it forward. Rodriguez gains at least a throw-in. Another goal from Luis Suarez. Not the Uruguayan Luis Suarez, of course. This is the Sporting Lisbon man. Former Almeria and Olympique Marseille man. Valerdi back for Emiliano Martinez. Dangerous pass to Tagliafico, who just has to send it away. The run from Alcibar. Good pass. Good touch, rather, from Valerdi. McAllister opening it for Nahuel Molina. A pass. And joining the attack on the right side. Mastantuono. Going to cut back to his left. Mastantuono with the shot, deflection, and a corner. González wants it. Lo Celso with the execution. And almost there for Nico González. That would have been something. A bit of fortune telling from our director there. Very, very close to connecting on that cross was Nico González. Mastantuono. First touch pass for Nahuel Molina. Tagliafico couldn't get it. But now it's all Argentina as they press quickly. And the pitch is very big and very wide for Ecuador, but there goes Kevin Rodriguez, a machine. Kevin Rodriguez is going to get another yellow card on an Argentinian defender. In this case, it is Valerdi. What a run, a powerful run with horsepower speed from Kevin Rodriguez. Already in the final 10 minutes of regular time. Ordóñez. William Pacho. Hincapié. One-on-one against Nahuel Molina. Hincapié. Piero just fell to the ground hoping to get a call. Pacho. Bite. Letting it go is Foyt. Long ball opening it towards the left, and the control is there for Gonzalez. Tried to keep going, but couldn't go past Franco. That's a goal kick. Last time these two nations played each other, quarterfinals of the CONMEBOL Copa America in the United States in 2024, a 1-1 draw, and Argentina qualifying, advancing on penalties. Prior to that, 2-1-0 victories for the Albiceleste, a friendly and a World Cup qualifier for Qatar. The last time they played in Ecuadorian soil, it was a 1-1 draw with goals scored by Julian Alvarez, this guy right here, and Ener Valencia in minute 93 to tie the game up. That day, Argentina went with Jerónimo Rulli on goal. Montiel, Martínez Cuarta, Lucas Martínez Cuarta, Otamendi, Tagliafico, De Paul, Paredes, McAllister, Álvarez, Messi, and González, Nicolás González, precisely. And a foul committed by Mastantuono. No foul, says Roldan. Lo Celso, and here's Tagliafico, back to Giovanni Lo Celso. No way to connect there for Julian Alvarez. Valerdi almost actually playing one-on-one on the back line against Rodriguez, the dangerous Kevin Rodriguez. 6 minutes away from 90. Molina with another cross. Ordóñez. And Lo Celso able to get it back. Tagliafico. González. Tagliafico fell down. Referee says play on. McAllister. Juan Foyt. Molina all alone. Gonna be tough. And he plays it back to Foyt. Valerdi. Tagliafico. Everything happening in the perimeter now for Argentina. Tagliafico, Valerdi, Foyt. Inside, Mastantuono, poor control, and he loses it. Not a good intervention from Mastantuono there. Stopping is John Jeboa. Alcibar. Pacho. Hincapié, Páez. Vite. Good auto pass. Kendry Páez, Pedro Vite. Over the top. Ordóñez. Alcibar. Now it's Ecuador who is pissed. Ping-ponging it around. Tiki-tiki. One-touch pass, beautiful stuff. Alan Franco opens it wide for Pedro Vite. Lovely possession from Latri to the delight of the fans. Alcibar. And the shot from Hincapié. Foyt, Mastantuono, Mastantuono. Nico Gonzalez. Mastantuono kept on running and now he is offside. Tagliafico. Balerdi. Molina. Foyt. Nobody in the box for Argentina. Alvarez goes back to play the ball on the ground. Somebody needs to try something different for the Albiceleste. Mastantuono. Tagliafico, low cross, easy for Galíndez. Very close to a huge victory for Ecuador, just in terms of what it would mean to beat the team that for many is the very, very best at an international level. Maybe together with Spain, if we take into account the recent results of both these countries, who are scheduled to play in the Finalissima next year. The Copa America champions representing CONMEBOL and the Euro champions representing UEFA. Opening pass. Wide. Oh, and Mastantuono fighting with Hincapié. Going head to head, going face to face with the youngster from Real Madrid. Alcivar. Hincapié. Vite. He keeps on going, a little bit lucky, but nonetheless. The ball for Jeboa. Trying to go past Foyt. And it's a goal kick. Lo Celso. Foyt. Tired legs. The Argentinian side of things. The whistle from Mastantuono. Tagliafico. Final seconds of the full 90. We'll see how many minutes get added on. The cross, Mastantuono with the control. Mastantuono. Lo Celso. Another goal kick. Shot went on top of the bar. Hincapié, a man down. In Ecuador, 5 minutes will be added on. We'll play till 95 at the Banco Pichincha Stadium here in Guayaquil. Lo Celso, nobody there to run with him, only Alvarez against 5 or 6. That's why he has to go backwards, laterally at least, to hold up the play. McAllister, I think he also ran out of legs. Alexis did. The change coming in Ecuador for the final minutes. They had one more in their back pocket as McAllister opens it to Molina. Lo Celso. Foyt. Inside for Franco Mastantuono, who cuts in, who cuts once again. Mastantuono inside the area. They bounce it off of Mastantuono. And Hincapié is going to be delighted for winning that duel. Hincapié thought it was a goal kick, and McAllister stepping in and having the back of his teammate, and it is a goal kick eventually. Well, the final change in Ecuador is Alan Minda. And it's going to be J.JUNAYED coming out, who came on in the second half, but apparently he needs a break, a breather. And it's Minda for the final 2.5 minutes. Galíndez sends it away. González lobs it forward. Ordóñez with a dangerous header and a foul. Extra aggressive challenge from González. Tough game for Argentina all across the board. A game that, of course, does not mean anything, but it's not the way that Scaloni probably would have wanted to finish up this campaign, which has been fantastic, of course. Finishing first. Wow. And a poker scored by Luis Suarez. 4 goals in a 5-2 smashing for Colombia over Venezuela. The hopes are still alive, though, because Bolivia just leads Brazil 1-0. If that result changes, if Brazil scores a goal, Venezuela's in. I think. Yeah, I am right. Goal difference still with the 2-5. Goal difference is still in the favor of the Vinotinto. Maybe you can switch on to that thrilling finish once we are through here in Guayaquil. Maybe the last play for Argentina if they want to at least get a point and not lose their final game of the CONMEBOL World Cup qualies. Lo Celso, one final cross from Nahuel Molina. And Valerdi. Alvarez, Julian, no foul, says Roldan. Rodriguez. They play it straight up the sideline, but they can't find Kevin Rodriguez. And maybe one more chance. Final few seconds here. Alexis McAllister. Alvarez. Nicolas González. One final cross now for Mastantuono, or maybe for Molina. And now Alexis McAllister. Cut from Minda. McAllister fighting with Foyt, and the game is over. Ecuador have beaten the world champions.